Here we go, here we go. Coming back at you from the Red Eye Loft. All right, folks, today's video, I know you guys been waiting. Let me just say I apologize for the Tippler Talk Tuesday. It did not come. For those that didn't know, Florida was under a hurricane watch, and I had to deal with that. I was preparing my home, didn't have time to make a Tippler Talk Tuesday, but we'll get back to it next week. On another note, what you see here in front of me today are some feeders. Now, why am I showing these feeders? Good question. These feeders, they all range from different styles. We're gonna work from the wooden feeder here. This is a wooden feeder I purchased probably about 10 years ago. 10 years ago when I purchased this feeder, I thought it was a well-built feeder. And it was. The only thing I didn't like about this feeder is that you could not clean it thoroughly. You cannot disinfect these feeders. Why? Because they're wood. We all know that wood tends to splinter. It dry rots with moisture. It swells up if you wet them. You really can't clean them. But in looking at this feeder here, you'll see that it has no bottom. The bottom rotted out. I had to remove the bottom. And you can see where it has the groove where the floor used to be. I took it out, never put it back together. I've given up on this feeder. Simply because it's wood. And although I may have had it for 10 years in a loft and it's dry, still you cannot clean them properly. You see all the black here from wetting it, cleaning it. It gets embedded in the wood, it swells up, it absorbs moisture, and it never fully dries. That's a problem. It did have some hinges that were coming apart. The hinges, so I added these two other hinges, and of course when you wet them, they rust, and you know the deal, they don't open and close properly. But the reason why I'm making this video is to show you that most lofts today have wooden feeders in them. This one you can see it was put together pretty nicely. It's got screws holding it together instead of just finished penny nails holding it together. Most feeders are made that way. This is an old style feeder, and I probably paid, I don't know, maybe 40 bucks plus tax for this feeder. Now, second feeder I have is a plastic feeder. This feeder here was designed mainly for chickens. I bought it at a feed store. It used to have these notches all the way across, and the holes were smaller. And what I did was I cut them out just to make the holes a little bigger for the pigeons to get in there and eat. It's okay. You can disinfect these, but I don't like them because I had to modify it. That's a problem. For the pigeons to eat, they would actually get their heads stuck in there. They're designed for chickens. The next feeder you're gonna see are these two plastic and wire metal feeders. I love the wires. The wires are sturdy, okay, but it's open. Birds, they can easily soil the feed because it's open. And I noticed over time, being in the sun, it dry rots them and they chip. Very thin. You can see there's cracks in them right now. You can see the cracks, and every time I pick them up, they break. If I pick them up to the side, this one's about to break right here. It's cracked. So I learned real quick that these are nice, but still, they don't serve the purpose. Now, the reason for this video, I'm gonna show you what's in store for the Red Eye Loft. I first have to say thank you to Maze Exotics and my buddy Ron Brink. Ron Brink introduced me to this gentleman here. He makes these. Ron came up with the idea of building these feeders, using them on the for your loft. And the material that he used, this is pretty much PVC. Now, you can see they're well built, very nice. Look how you put these together, and they are actually grooved in there, so these things will never slide back and forth and never lose adjustment. Some wooden feeders that you see, they'll put a wooden block, throw 2 little clips or little nails, and then over time set the lid on the feeder. They tend to get loose. Look at this. This is, well, these are screwed on there. I'll show you. This is the finished product, and this one has the caps on them. Here you go. This one does not have a cap on it, and you can see he screws them in there really nice. They're real nice and tight. Puts caps on them, and they're covered really, really nice here. Now, why do I like these feeders? First of all, I like them because you can clean them easily. You can spray bleach on them, disinfectant on them, wash them out, hose them down with the water hose. If they get soiled pretty bad, you can just soak them and they maintain. They're fairly light, not really heavy. They're durable. Now, I will say if you drop it, yeah, you could probably chip a corner, crack it, but we'll see. I'm in the test phase of this project here. This feeder here has 12 holes on one side, 12 holes on the other. That's 24 holes. Same like this wooden feeder here. It also has 12 holes on one side. This feeder here is slightly narrow. It's not as deep because if you look at the where the bottom, the floor was, it's real shallow here. These are a little bit deeper. You can see they're a little bit deeper from the bottom of the feeder. So that's a plus. So folks, we're just trying to get input, get some feedback from people. What would they like to see in these types of feeders? Ron, I thank you for dropping these off today. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I appreciate your friend, Maze Exotics, for coming up with this design. I think they're gonna work out just fine for what we want. And let's face it, most feeders stay inside the lofts anyway. So really, I don't see those going out in the sun. The sun here in Florida is brutal, and they will melt these. You know, they are PVC. Just like my polywood furniture, durable. There's a little bit different density on the polywood, but these are very expensive. And if you don't believe me, look them up, polywood. These are polywood chairs. And what you guys are trying to do with the feeder, I think is great. Making those feeders. For anyone out there that's interested in buying those feeders, please comment on this video. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys would like to see. I know some guys have talked about putting a little block here to make a little handle so you can lift up the cover. But as you can see, it's effortless. See that? Set the feed in there, and it's in there, fits on there pretty nicely. You cannot go wrong with these feeders. And we're gonna try them here at the Red Eye Loft. I am going to put them inside the loft and test them out. Now, from what I understand, Maze, M-A-Z-E, Maze Exotics on Facebook, you can go to their webpage and look them up. The gentleman builds snake enclosures out of this type of material, PVC. He also builds parts for boats, like fishing racks for the boat. And you can't go wrong with this type of material. I think we're gonna like them. I think they're really nice. They're all even, really nice. And then you have it, folks. For those watching my videos, check them out. If you like them, comment. Tell me what you think. Now, some guys will probably say, well, pigeons will stick their head in there. He could have made circles to minimize knocking out the feed. Well, the key is you don't overfeed your birds. Any feeder that you put feed in, birds will always find a way to knock out the feed outside the feeder. you'll always have a mess. I don't care what type of design you have, you're going to have a little bit of waste. The key is to feed accordingly. If you feed just the right amount of feed to your birds, they're gonna eat every grain and you won't have any problems. Just like these here, same thing. I've had spillage. If I put too much feed in these, they knock it out. Same thing here, same thing here. But I want you to see the difference. Now this feeder here weighs just about the same as this one here. And I'm gonna put them side by side so you can see. They're about the same size. Actually, the black one's a slight longer, but they have the same amount of holes. 12 on one side, 12 on the other feeder. Now, if anyone out there is interested, let's brainstorm. Let's see what you guys would like to see. I know he can make them any size you want, but the goal is to make 24, 36, or 48. That's your standard size feeders that you mostly buy, whether it be at Foy's, Siegel's, or Global. Those are your standard sizes. For these right here, I suggest that you go with these. If you have a small loft, if you have a large loft and you want to build something bigger, I'm sure that he will accommodate your request. The key is if you want to pay for it. If you want to pay for the different size, that's available. And there you have it, folks. Like I said, the feeders are lightweight, just like this one. This is wood. You'll never get this cleaned up properly, never. You can disinfect, but you'll always see how the droppings eat away at the wood? Whereas this PVC here, I would imagine it just cleans off nicely. It may stain it, no big deal, but at least you get a smooth surface and it's disinfected. There you go. All right, folks, till next time, like always, to be continued on the next video. We'll have some prices for you. The key thing is, do you like these feeders? If you do, let me know and we'll see if we can make it happen. I believe the gentleman is going to be doing some shipping. He can ship them out disassembled. You can put them together because they're just screwed together and very easy to put together. 4 sides and a bottom. You can see the screws, really nice. Look at that. Look at the workmanship on this thing. Every one of these are evenly spaced apart. Look at this. Nice. See that? And there you have it, folks. PVC feeders. If you like them, if you like what you see, like I do, let me know. You heard it right here at the Red Eye Loft. Till next time, like always, peace.